4-5-4.
Thank you. Vad har du för nummer? 44. What's your number? 50.
50.
Yeah. Oh. 91. Håller på att köra. Det är riktigt gott.
298. 492. Han är 679. 260.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
37.55. You are welcome.
Nu är det så här. Nu ska han få också visa det han är också bra på. Han kan ju både sjunga och dansa och också nu ska han få skjuta ut en t-shirt till alla er här i publiken.
Welcome back to Ostersund, where the action keeps coming thick and fast in the first week of the BMW IBU World Cup season. It's the women's sprint that takes centre stage today. 7.5 kilometres split over 2.5 kilometre laps, 2 shooting stages and a 150 metre penalty loop for any missed targets. Interesting weather over the course of the last couple of days. We have seen heavy snow which continues to fall, but it does mean that the range is just a little bit stiller. Air temperature of -1 degrees, back under freezing after a few days of flip-flopping above and below freezing, which made for a really fast course. But today, of course, very different conditions. Chad Salmela, former Team USA biathlete and coach. What impact do you expect the weather will have on the course today, Chad?
Well, we saw it snowing quite heavily during the zeroing period, and I thought that would be a real disadvantage to the first few starters. Anna Gantler going up at #1 for Austria. But the snow has stopped since then, and that helps because the athletes are still warming up on the course, meaning they're skiing in that top layer of snow that has fallen. The question is, how far out are they skiing? Are they skiing all the way out on the full 2.5K loop, or are they taking breaks to come back and shoot? There might be a little bit of fresh snow for Gantler and the early starters to deal with out on the far point of the course. That will slow them down just a little bit, and at this level, that little bit of extra snow matters, and it could slow them down by as much as 10 seconds.
Yeah, one of those early starters we've just seen stepping up for the final checks. Lisa Vitozzi, obviously back. This her big return. We haven't quite seen the best of her just yet, though, Chad.
No, you could tell that her ski form was just a little bit shy of best in the individual competition, and 4 misses, just too much for her. It was a good start back, but she definitely didn't deliver what I think she's capable of, and we've got to watch for that today. Getting that first race under your belt and getting your body to kind of flush the lactate, get your heart rate going at near max capacity, that's a huge difference between the first race of the year and the second. So we'll see some people climb out of their shells, so to speak, today.
We certainly hope so. Of course, starting in the individual events with the classic, the individual. What is the key to putting together a good sprint race, Chad?
First of all, you have to have the ski speed, and exhibiting that in the early part of the season is kind of hard to do. We look at somebody like Justine Bressat-Boucher. She was way off of her normal ski time in the individuals. She'll probably come back and ski faster today with that little bit of a thrust. But it all comes down to skiing. With penalty loops and just 10 shots over 7.5 kilometers, if you're not skiing in the top 10% of the field, your chances are way down unless other people start missing. So the other thing is you have to take chances on the shooting range. At this level, a downhill shooting range without a lot of wind today, You're going to need to be quick, deliberate, and get in and out of there as fast as you can, and just hope that they all go down, because every second counts, whether it's a shot taken or a shot missed, or the time you take to set up to take the shots.
Well, we're expecting, of course, to see Franziska Preuss in red. She's a DNS. The announcement from the German Federation today saying that she's come down with illness. Sonja Leinamo as well, who, of course, we would have loved to see back out on the course after that brilliant silver medal in the individual. She's also a DNS, a handful of DNSs at this point, Chad. And well, we mentioned it earlier on in the racing this week. Always a challenge when you have everyone coming together for the first race of the season with illness around the camp.
Yeah, and it's tough because, you know, it's probably fine, and it's probably just out of an abundance of caution that they didn't start Preuss. You know, we started, Vera said she came down with a little bit of a cold the day of the individual. She's on the start again today. She won that race with a little bit of sniffles. It's not something you want to trifle with too much, but in this Olympic year, you have to make that call. And I think with Franziska Preuss's history, her health history, she has to take every little illness very seriously, because she's seen it too many times unravel into a season that doesn't ever come about because she just didn't take enough time to recover. So good luck to her. I hope that she feels better in the next couple of days and we see her in the end of the weekend. But it's a tough break for her, because she now has to wait until Hook Filton to race.
No, absolutely, of course, with this providing qualification for the pursuit racing at the weekend. As we see one of the early starters as well, Camille Benet, third in the individual. What a start she's made to life on the World Cup. Chad, the IBU Cup winner from last season, really wanting to cement her place.
Well, what a dream it was for her in that individual competition. I just got chills and goosebumps for her to finish third in that event, and just face her first real World Cup season from day one, and say, I belong here. That is a hard thing to do, and it's not something I've seen a lot of athletes in her position do. So congrats to her and the French team. It's 11th. She's the 11th person in the last 3 years that has won a World Cup for the French women's team.
Well, we talk a lot about the depth on the Norwegian men's side, and of course that reflected on the women's side, but in France, where you can go all the way down to the IBU Cup and still pick out names who have won on the World Cup before dropping back down. So here we go, the first sprint race of the 25-26 season, and it's Anna Gandler of Austria who will get us underway. Struggled towards the end of their last season, missing out, but she does have, Chad, 5 career flower ceremonies.
She does, and she is an athlete who is kind of beyond her years and experience. She's very savvy, and you can tell she's very focused, professional through and through. Both her parents were world-class her father was a world-class cross-country skier. Her mother was an alpine skier.
And here is Lisa Vitozzi looking to find her way back onto the podium, but she'll have to do it from the early bib numbers. No doubt Chad will be looking at her time towards the end of this race as one up there to beat.
Yeah, she skied the 7th fastest ski time in the individual, which was solid, but she was a good 40 seconds off the lead time. I think that's fast enough for her if she skis a little bit better today and keeps it clean, that she could find herself atop the podium. But we're going to know probably by that first split time compared to Gantler. If she's got Gantler by 6+ seconds, then we're probably looking at Lisa Vitozzi at full power. If she doesn't have her by more than that, it's probably another day we're going to wait to see her really throw down a great ski time. First time check will be at 1.3 kilometers. Just make you aware of how far into the race that time check is. It's a 2.5 kilometer loop done 3 times. So the 1.3 coming at about halfway, just a little under halfway around the first loop.
Polona Klemencic, someone who loves racing here in Ostersund. 2 of her top 3 performances have been here on this track, including a top 10 in the individual in the 22-23 season.
Yeah, she had 20th place in the opening individual 2 days ago. That's a good start for Klemencic. Her personal best ever being, as you said, 8th in the World Championships in Oberhof in this competition. So when Klemencic has good ski form, she is very good, but she fluctuates quite a bit in that form. So her average ski time doesn't end up being quite as indicative of how her best ski form actually is.
Well, it was a great start to the season for Mer Clautens. It's her 50th World Cup and World Championship start today. 6th in the individual earlier on in the week, and Chad a first flower ceremony, and one that was really well deserved.
Yeah, when you start a season with a high water mark in your career, as Clautens did, that's a great place to start. Clautens probably not the ski prowess that she needs to contend today. The individual and the sprint competitions are two very different competitions, and we have a whole different set of favorites today because of the ski speed necessary to win.
Out through the gates goes Joanna Skottheim. Has won podium. That was in Kontiolahti in the 2021 season in the individual. Her best result in the sprint, also in Kontiolahti that season, finishing 4th.
Yeah, speaking of, similar to Klemencic, she is also another athlete who, when she's on great form, she's really quite fast, like world-class fast, but when she's not, she's way off the back.
Paradis now of Canada, 23-year-old.
Paradis just trying to get her feet wet on the World Cup and have a little bit more experience. Her best World Cup finish at 34th, but Paradis getting all that all-important experience in her 26th start of her career.
So coming towards the 1.3 kilometre mark, and our first time check. Anna Gandler wearing bib number 1. Well, Chad, just looking at the conditions underfoot as well, we go back to the start gate. Camille Benet bursting out of the blocks, and what an exciting French youngster she is.
Yeah, Camille Benet has kind of changed her outlook on herself with her 3rd place podium finish in the individual. All of a sudden, she is a favorite, and she has to be considered one. And I said she needed to beat Gandler by more than 5 seconds to look like she's really on world-class form. I don't think Vitozzi is quite there yet. She's clearly competitive, unless she's taking it kind of easy right now. You can see, you're talking about the course conditions. You can see it's a little bit soft. There's not a lot of new snow that's fallen recently. It's been skied in for the most part, but it has created a soft top layer of a fresh powder that Vitozzi has to plow through. It's not as slow as I would have thought it would be if it kept snowing. So luckily for Vitozzi, it stopped snowing.
Emma Kapustova of Slovakia up next to leave the blocks. The 22-year-old has a personal best of 25th on the World Cup. A handful of good results coming in the season before last.
Yeah, she's an incredibly strong prone shooter. Starting the season off here early with 3 races under her belt and still 100% without a missed prone shot. Hit 90% for the entire season last year. Kapustova just has to get her ski speed a little quicker.
Shvatova.
An athlete we know that can ski well. She has a 3rd place finish in 2020 back in Antolz at the World Championships. Bronze medal. And she is always quick. She's always in the -2 to -3 category, so the front half of the field on ski speed, but it's her standing shooting has always let her down. She's never shot over 70% for a career average in a single season from the standing position, and last year it was even worse, 57%. So if she can hit some standing targets, she could find herself on the podium again.
Slettermark of Greenland, and she started the season pretty well, in good form with her sibling in the single mixed relay, finishing 16th. Chad, what are their expectations, the Slettermark siblings coming into this season?
I think they just want to be competitive and feel like they belong in the World Cup. They do quite well. Their parents were both biathletes as well. They competed in my era in the late 1990s. Their husband and wife duo, and their children have taken on in their footsteps. And it's cool to see that. They're a great story for the sport. There's not a lot of sports out there that have Greenland competitors competing week in and week out.
So plus 9.1 seconds behind the time of Lisa Vitozzi. Joanna Skottheim through the first time check.
Yeah, I would say that this confirms that Vitozzi is probably a little off her top speed. She's got Skottheim by 9.1 seconds, and Skottheim has sat out because she's reportedly not been completely healthy since Idre Fjell either, the opening Swedish Cup races that picked the team to come here. So Skottheim, a little pedestrian start, 9.1 seconds back to Vitozzi, but here's Gandler now. The first shooter into the range, kind of the canary in the coal mine. And looking at the wind flags, this is what we want to see, is that shot. And when Gandler comes in, they're the calmest we've seen the wind flags all week.
Janina Hettich-Volz next to start her race for the World Cup after the birth of her first child.
15.1 of the first shot is a good fast time to start. You can see the difference in the aggression that Gandler is shooting with in his sprint. She takes a little bit longer in the last one, but just 0.3 longer than her average time. And that's a good shooting time, 28.8, aggressive, clean. That is how you have to race a sprint race in biathlon.
And coming through, bib number 1, she will set the time to beat out to the first visit to the shooting range. It's a penalty loop to start with for Lisa Vitozzi.
Came in with 6.2 seconds in hand and is going to give away about 20 of it. And she'll come out of the penalty loop probably in about 15 to 20 seconds back of Gondler. In the loop she goes. Gondler's time at shooting 1, 7:30.6. Sharapova is always a good first, whether she hits targets or not, she's a good test of where the field is comparatively at the first time check. She's always quick.
When she supplants Lisa Vitozzi, she won't at the 1.3 kilometer mark. She'll drop down into third.
So I'd say looking at the top 3 at this point, Gondler is the one that's the outlier on the skiing. She's looking very good on the skis by comparison to what I would have expected her to be. I would expect her to be 5-6 seconds back of Vitozzi, and she's 3.5 back and leading after shooting 1 by 16.9 with clean shooting to Vitozzi's 1 miss. So consider a penalty loop's about 23 seconds on a daily day, maybe up to 24 with the new snow. Vitozzi out skiing Gondler by just a bit, but not impressively so.
Coming into shooting 1, 7.7 seconds down is Maya Clautens.
And that's the time of Gondler that she's chasing. But Gondler, good start for her. But he's taking a little more time per shot. You see, there's quite a distinct difference between a 2-second cadence and a 3 to 3.5 second cadence. You can feel it, but very safe shooting by Maya Clautens. But I would argue she's got to learn how to shoot faster than that to be competitive in the sprint competition with the ski speed she carries. It's a good shooting, but maybe not quite sharp enough.
And she'll go in to third. Exiting the range, 14 seconds behind the time of Gandler. Here's Joanna Scottheim.
Doing that sub 2.5 per shot. That is how you do it. That's great shooting by Scottheim. It's aggressive enough. Came in trailing by 8.4 seconds, but she's pretty quick on the range. Falls outside the time of Gondler, but she's going to move just behind Clementis and ahead of Clautens.
So into third she goes. 7.5 seconds behind the time of Anna Gandler. But number 1 yet to be beaten.
And if you just take the shooting, and we just saw Scottheim shoot and we saw Gondler shoot a few minutes ago. Gondler was just a little bit more aggressive, and that adds up. 7.5 seconds the gap between the Swede and the Austrian, and most of that comes with how aggressively you approach the shooting.
So eyes on Camille Benet, the 25-year-old, stepping up in spectacular fashion. Can she keep the ball rolling?
Already down on time to Gondler, so maybe feeling a little bit of the individual effort heavy in her legs. She's going to fall outside the time of Gondler, even if she's clean. Time of Gondler coming up in 2 seconds. That'll come and go.
Well, that is very quick and very clean shooting.
And she was about as aggressive as Gondler, and she's going to get paid back by taking a few seconds off. She's going to come in about the same time.
So into fifth, Camille Benet goes. She needs to do some work on the skis, but she's made a very good start. Volfa of Latvia now, 4 for 4, and that's 5.
That's a good time coming in, just plus 9.5 seconds for Volfa. Her best finish ever, is 28th in a World Cup competition, so she's going to actually be kind of in the mix here with Clautens, who is 6th in the opening World Cup individual. That's a good start for Volfa.
So Lucy Srivatova coming into shooting 1, second fastest coming in, but crucially faster than Anna Gandler. So if she can stay clean here and shoot quick, we could have a new leader coming out of shooting 1.
75% average last season in the Pro, and it's solid. Could be a new leader here.
Well, it looks very likely. She's back up to her skis. 10 seconds to get to the line, and well, that should be more than comfortable.
But she's got to get past the penalty loop exit. That's the thing. It's a little bit deceiving because the time check can't happen sooner. Oh, but she still leads, 1.2 seconds. Yeah, I was going to say, Ellen, we were used to seeing last week the time check is much closer to the exit of the range. You have to move it past the exit of the penalty loop. So a few more seconds.
She still got there in time. Now into second out at the 1.3 kilometre mark goes Lehtinen of Finland, looking to carry on the good form of Finland this week. They've carried on just how well they finished at the end of last season. Jakiela now of Poland pushing out of the gate.
Yeah, Lehtinen kind of making the case I made for Vitozzi not being enough faster than Gandler to be at the top level of the ski speed of this entire field once we get down into the Elvira Ubergs of the field. Vitozzi needed a bigger gap than that on Gandler, I thought, and Venla Lehtinen proves that point. She's just 0.8 back of Vitozzi, and you wouldn't expect that from Lehtinen.
Mingas of Estonia. As Amy Baserga starts her race for Switzerland.
Coming in. She's 12.6 seconds back, and you saw Janina Hettig-Waltz from Germany already almost making up the stagger on Tumingas. That tells you that Hettig-Waltz is in quickly. Let's see. I'm gonna look and see where she's in third behind Vitozzi, 5.8 seconds back, but just a second, 1.3 seconds back, 1.7 seconds back of Charlotte. So Hettig-Waltz, who gave birth to her first child last year, didn't see her at all last year. She comes on strong.
Yep, and strong shooting as well. Clean 5 for 5. Started the race exceptionally quickly coming in. You can see the green mark there, just slowing before coming into the range, although that's something that Johannes Tingers-Boe has been speaking about over on the Biathlon World Instagram. Do go and take a look on that with races still to come this week here in Ostersund.
Gandler trying to go clean here from bib number 1. Thinks about it and misses it.
And so 9 out of 10 for Anna Gandler. Once around the penalty loop, she will go.
And something that Gandler just can't give up that opportunity. She has a best finish of 5th. She's not going to be 5th with 9 for 10.
And it's 2 misses now for Lisa Vitozzi, so at best it will be 8 out of 10.
Closes those last 4 very quickly though after that first miss, and that's just a little lack of focus preparing for that first shot. So Vitozzi came in 2.9 ahead of Gandler. She should still be ahead of Gandler as they both leave the penalty loop. Gandler leaving the range now, or the penalty loop now.
Anna Magnusson. Incredibly quick, very powerful on the skis.
Magnusson is kind of one of those athletes, bib 32, that is kind of your middle of the road person who can make it to the podium. She's got 1 win, 1 second place. She's got a trio of podium finishes, but she's just consistent. Mid-80s shooting and a -2 ski time. It's kind of like the middle of the road of a biathlete that can go up and be on the podium or finish mid-pack.
Then a Lehtinen of Finland. And shooting 1 from Emčić with 2 misses now and shooting 2.
Lehtinen, nice cadence between 2.5 and 3 seconds per shot. Great start for Finland. Finland has got the bug right now. They are in great form. They have all the confidence in the world. That was world-class shooting by Venla Lehtinen. Not too shaky, not too scary, but also quick enough to be competitive. And she's going to challenge the time of the leader.
Yep, and she will go into the lead. Venla Lehtinen, 0.7 of a second ahead of Shivatova.
Just watching Lehtinen ski and shoot there, she looks like a different athlete than she did 2 seasons ago. She is quick, her kicks are powerful, she's gliding very well, and the shooting confidence is just stellar. It's undeniable.
And a Scott time now.
Chasing the time of Vitozzi, who is taking the lead from Gandler by 6.8 seconds after the second shooting.
2 misses now.
at about 50 seconds to time before the Swedish athlete leaves the penalty loop. But here's a good start by Vanessa Voigt. She is not a ski speed. She's not a speed demon on the skis. She's more of a shooting accuracy and can shoot very quickly when she feels on. But 3-second cadence just feels a little too quick for her right now, and she misses the second shot. A very low prone position that feels very stable, and she lets that rifle just do its work and kind of pop straight up off of her planted arms. Very nice shooting, but still a penalty for her.
So Camille Benet, perfect so far.
Just trying to keep it together. Do it on the shooting range. Nicely done.
Yep, and she will be the first to go 10 for 10 and perfect through the 2 shooting stages. And will, of course, with that take the lead as we look back to Bartoszka Fialkova dropping down into the prone position, starting well. Keep your eyes on the time of Camille Benet, and she will come out with a lead of around 10 seconds, 9.5. The advantage of the Frenchwoman Camille Benet. 5 for 5 for Bartoszka Fialkova, and coming in quickly as well, Chad. Look at that, it's only 0.3 of a second behind Venla Lehtinen. We will have a new leader coming out of shooting 1. It might be quite close, actually. She will just drop down into second.
As you see, Ragnhild Sven-Steinevik now in bib 25. Drops the third shot, though. Skied very well, come in minus 2.4 on the leader, Lehtinen, after shooting 1. And Lucy Shavatova, a 67% shooter from the standing position this season, but last year was under that, even under 57% last year. So outperforming her normal standing shoot. That is a good performance by Lucy Shavatova from standing. I have to put it this way. You rarely see her hit more than 3 shots from the standing position. She hit 4. That is a good day on the range for Shavatova.
Well, taking the early lead through 1.3 kilometers, Ingrid Landmark-Tandvold, who comes out with something to prove today, was one of the sprint winners last season on the World Cup. That was in Novo Mesto, and it was a really emotional and heartfelt win that I think everyone was celebrating for her across the biathlon world, Chad. If she could replicate that today, there would certainly be a relaxed style in her shoulders come into the weekend.
Absolutely. I mean, anytime you have a start like that to a season, you're just going to carry that confidence through to the next races. With her experience, you should be able to do that again here today.
Marketa Davidova going into 4th, 5.4 seconds behind the time of Ingrid Landmark-Tandvold, who is our new leader at the 1.3 kilometre mark. When we talk about sprint winners from last season, of course, Marketa Davidova, she did win the opening sprint in Kontiolahti before her season was cut short with a back injury that required surgery.
Sven-Steinevik is faster than Vitozzi through that time check as well, but Sven-Steinevik, we already saw, had a penalty from the prone position. And the leader remains Lehtinen. It's very close at the top after shooting 1. As Janita Hektic-Valtz comes into the lead of 4 seconds now, coming into the standing shoot. Leading Shavatova. Shavatova had a penalty. Oh, and so does Hektic.
And it'll be twice round the loop now for Hektic-Valtz. And 3 times, and from a real position of strength, Chad, we see her tumble down the order.
I think what it really comes down to is Hektic-Valtz on this level just maybe came in a little too hard. As we go to the finish now, Lisa Vitozzi has made up the 30 seconds on Gantler, telling you that she is going to have a fast last loop time. And Vitozzi across the line in the first, 29.2 ahead of the person who started, 30 seconds ahead of her, Gantler.
Yep, but with 2 misses, of course, it won't be enough today. But we'll keep our eyes on that final lap time, Chad, because as you say, she's flown around it.
Yeah, the 3rd lap time, she put 23 seconds on Gantler in the last lap. So Vitozzi with a flourish in the finish there on that final loop. It might hold up to a podium finish if it's that much faster than the rest of the field. But Gantler is certainly not the class of the field on the skis. So Vitozzi's got a lot to watch for in the coming field.
Salmela of Italy, clean in the prone, starting her standing shoot as Anna Magnusson comes in for her prone shoots. Good so far from the Italian, keeps it perfect. Can she make it 10 out of 10? She can indeed.
And Magnusson should take the lead as well from shooting one. We had two athletes here shooting very well. Kamola trying to take the time at shooting two, at shooting one right behind her, or right ahead of her, as Anna Magnusson did 32. And she will move into first.
As we look back at the time of Komola, who, well, fourth, 17.5 seconds behind Shvatova.
Still a good race for her, but Anna Magnusson on a tear right now. 8 seconds in the lead after shooting number one. Great performance by her so far.
Tandrevold, first of two shoots in the prone position to start, of course.
There's nothing in the breakout. She's clean from prone, leading into standing, but misses on the first shot.
That's for Tandrevold as well. It's two misses now for Lehtinen and two for Tandrevold, who'll be twice round the loop before she can exit shooting one.
There's no question watching Tandrevold that she's got the fitness for the top of the order, and so does Lehtinen, but they both drop multiple shots. Venla Lehtinen's sprint competition is going to put her in jeopardy of maybe falling outside. They'll also probably still finish in the top 60 for the pursuit, but those three penalty loops are going to add over a minute to her time.
Marketa Davidova coming in 6.8 seconds behind the time of Anna Magnusson.
Look at those first two shots, 2.1 seconds, 2.9 seconds, a little bit of time. Anything under 2.5 is nice and quick, and that is great shooting by Marketa Davidova.
Has expectations. Here is Camille Benet coming around the final twists and turns, and into the stadium she'll come. There's 15 seconds to get to the line to surpass the time of Lisa Vitozzi. She'll have to push everything, and there is a chance that she might not get here in the lead. It will be quite close, and it will just be 1.67 seconds ahead of the time of Lisa Vitozzi as Ella Halverson goes clean through the first shoot.
Halverson came in 8.5 seconds back, going to leave just about a little quicker than that. Oh, there she's 8. Let's see where she's at. 6.6 seconds back. It's a good start. She's in the fight with Davidova and Magnusson at this point. Still faster skiers to come through the field. This is one of them. Fastest skier, mostly day in and day out. Anna Maria Lampic starts with a hit. She shot great in the individual and prone, but now drops 2 in the sprint. This is the event that she really needs to hit those targets because she can win these events with even a miss.
I stood on the podium in Le Grand Bonnard. Returned to the podium in a 4 shooting stage race later on in the season. Here's Dorothea Vera, who for the 40th time comes through the start gates wearing the yellow bib. It's been a long old wait for her, but back in yellow. And to watch Saratova come around the final couple of bends.
Challenging the time of Benet. Benet was psyched, even though she got beaten in the end by Vitozzi. She knows Vitozzi is one of the best in the world, or she's 1.6 ahead of her. Just any amount ahead of Vitozzi is great, even though she has 2 more misses. Shvatova trying for the line.
And will she get there? She doesn't. In the end, she goes into second for now. 0.7 of a second behind Camille Benet, with, of course, that penalty loop next to her name as well.
In fast conditions on courses like this, the time gaps are so tight by the finish. Just 1.6 seconds at the finish line separating Benet from Vitozzi. Benet, the only clean shooter in the finish so far. Shvatova with 9 for 10, Vitozzi 8 for 10. And Anna Magnusson leading after prone. A very strong ski performance through the first course time for Magnusson. She trailed Lampic by 10.3 seconds. The only person faster than Magnusson through course time number 1 is Tandrevold, 6 seconds faster. So Magnusson, the clean shooting and best skiing athlete so far through prone.
Well, here are those are the intermediate splits at shooting 1. We only have 4 athletes who have shot clean coming out of shooting 2.
This is solid for Lisa Teresa Hauser, 9.1 seconds back of Magnusson, but she's very quick on the range. One of the most efficient fast shooters out there. Probably not going to take the time of Magnuson to even clean that. Meanwhile, in the breakout, Jakiela's going clean from bib 27 for Poland. She's going to hit 10 for 10.
Well, perfect shooting day for Jakiela as we continue to watch Lisa Hauser, and she's gone 5 for 5.
So Jakiela has yet to hit the time check. Sharvatova, Jakiela supplants Sharvatova by 13.2 seconds for the lead after standing.
Lead. And Lisa Theresa Hauser goes in at 7th, 9.3 seconds behind the time of Magnuson. And here is our first look at Hannah Öberg.
And look at the time, 3 seconds. Just keeps getting faster as we get closer to the best skiers in the field. The time just keeps coming down by 3 seconds at a time. But that miss is going to be a bad start for Öberg. Barely missed it just outside at 3 o'clock. But there's a second miss at 11. Oh, just not quite composed enough. Those 2 shots missed at 2 very different places, telling you that is operator error, no doubt about it.
Samuela Komola coming into the finishing straight as well. We'll keep our eyes on where Jakiela comes around as well. She's never finished inside the top 10. Could today be her day? Watching the finish of Samuela Komola. Perfect, 10 out of 10. But she will fall into 4th.
Good performance for Komola, though. Just a -1 skiers ranking. And Tannheimer, this is my dark horse. I thought that Tannheimer, she skied the 4th fastest time or 5th fastest time in this individual, but drops the target there. She's got to go clean, the young 20-year-old, if she wants to win.
Well, here is Anna Magnuson, who comes in with a very good lead. Can she keep it going? She'll need to be clean.
Great focus. Crowd's with her.
Well, that is a superb performance from the Swede. 10 out of 10. The crowd love it. And we will have a new leader at shooting too.
I love the way that Magnuson approached this race. She was fast to start out, but she felt like she was in control. Slowly turned the screws in lap number 2, but not so far that she couldn't handle the shooting. And now she's leading by a full pendulum loop ahead of Jakiela.
Well, Lotta Lee as well has crept through. And we saw her name flash up there. I'm sure we'll catch her at some point through the course. She's gone into 2nd, just ahead of Jakiela, who now sits in 3rd. But we had a Belgian in the flower ceremony in the individual. Will we have one on the podium today? Lotta Lee, 10 out of 10 and skiing well.
Yeah, Lotta Lee is 23.3 seconds back. It's quite a ways back. It may not hang on for a podium in the end if Magnuson is the winner. But Magnuson just growing her lead throughout the course of the race, and Karolina Öfverstedt-Nutten comes in a little off the pace, 12.5 seconds, but that is still a possibility. If she keeps shooting, if she can shoot quicker and keep the pace close, may have a shot at the podium here if she goes clean on the day, but clearly not quite at the ski speed of the top of the field.
Just inside the top 10, 10 seconds behind the pace of the leader. And here is our leader, Jakiela of Poland, never finished inside the top 10. Raketa Davidova with 2 misses on her final visit to the Rangers. In comes Lou Jean-Minot.
Jean-Minot's time. Jean-Minot came in just 0.8 of a second down to Anna Magnuson. And will leave clean, but I don't think she's going to be the fastest time at the time check. Well, just outside the time of the Swede, but not by much.
Now watching Ella Halvorsen as Lou Jean-Minot goes into 2nd, 4.4 seconds behind the time of Anna Magnuson. Another Swede looking to go 10 for 10, and does Ella Halvorsen. A punch of the fist from the coaching team, because that is a big result. Can Shiloh Chad find the time on the skis? Because she will fall quite significantly behind the time of Magnuson.
Yeah, she's not quite equal to Magnussen on the skis, but she is equal on focus. You look at, if you take a picture of Ella Halvarsson and Anna Magnussen, the thing that stands out to me is they both had amazing laser focus, and that's why they're in the leader position.
But look at this for laser focus. Dorothea Vera just on the last drops it. She was going so fast and so well. Came in matching the time of Magnussen, but she will be once around the penalty loop after prone shooting.
Just 1.6 seconds between the fourth and fifth shot, and that's probably why the miss. Anything under 2 seconds is a little bit, it's reactive shooting, we'll call it, and if you're not on the target when you pull the trigger, you end up with a miss, and that's what happened to Dorothea Vera.
Anna-Maria Lampic coming in with 2 misses from the prone position. That's 3 misses for the day, and will be once again round the penalty loop. That's twice now.
Anna-Maria Lampic just needs to find the composure to find the podium again. She could win. She's yet to win a World Cup, but with a 9 for 10, she's fast enough to do it, but she's not done it yet in her 5-year career in the sport. This is a huge story here, bib 27 now. Joanna Jääskeläinen. We've not called her name very often in the last 2 seasons.
No, she's never finished on a flower ceremony. She's never finished in the top 10. Her best is from here, though, in Ostersund in the 23-24 season in the individual. This will be by some margin best performance in a sprint, you imagine, as she comes towards the line, and she will go into top spot. She'll go quicker than Camille Benet, but we'll be looking over her shoulder because Anna Magnussen is charging behind.
So, regardless of what happens for Joanna Jääskeläinen, this is a massive day for her. A huge step forward on her ski progress, and actually outperforms Benet with sim shooting, so that's a great future for the pole.
And here is Oceane Michelon coming in 1.9 seconds behind the time of Anna Magnussen. Quick through the early stages of that first loop.
15.8 faster first shot, that's good. Looks composed. Can be tight between her and the time. She's got 10 seconds to get to the time. Probably won't take the lead, but she's in the proximity to do just that because she has the ski speed to adjust late in the race.
As we join Lisa Hauser, who is perfect 10 for 10. Oceane Michelon goes into second, just 3.2 seconds behind the time of Magnussen. And here is Anna Magnussen coming around that 180-degree turn with a decent advantage. Well, look at that, 28 seconds in front of Jääskeläinen of Poland. Well, she's been here before, she's done it before, Anna Magnussen, and this is by some margin her favourite discipline. Eyes on Lotte Lee, 10 out of 10, perfect. You can see her gasping for air as she comes towards the line.
Lotte Lee, going to be a great performance for her regardless of where she ends up, but she drops into second spot at the finish line, 6.3 seconds shy of Jääskeläinen, and then Magnussen now charging to the finish as well, and she looks spectacular. She's put 5 seconds on Jääskeläinen, but she put 7 seconds on her in the last time check.
Well, this has been a perfect day, and she has been electric on the skis, perfect in the range. Anna Magnussen across the line, in first for now, 30.5 seconds her lead. Well, and the face paints a picture.
And the challengers just keep coming. Here's the Olympic champion, Anastasia Kuzmina. She's won 10 sprints in her career, but she drops the shot from prone and falls outside the leading times. But the way I'm seeing Kuzmina come into shape, she might be a contender by the Olympic Games.
Nina Glotian dropping the first shot. Getting fast around the early stages, coming in just 0.6 of a second, 0.6 of a second behind the time of Magnussen, but that one loop could be costly.
A clean Selena Grotian. She's still young, she's got time to develop, but I think the Germans were expecting a little more from her. She was such a sensation as a junior, but struggling a little bit with the mental side of being a contender on the World Cup. It's not going to be her day-to-day. She skied competitively that first lap, but that one miss is just one too many for her. Here's somebody who's skiing very well. Anna Juppe from Austria. She was the 8th fastest ski time in the individual competition. So not surprisingly, she's among the lead group, but she's not on the sharp end of the stick, kind of chasing the lead group by 15, 16 seconds. Oh, and a miss.
Remember, we still have to see Suvi Minkinen through shooting one. Elvira Erberg, Justine Bressard-Boucher still yet to come through the prone shoot. As here is Ella Halvorsen in third. 33 seconds though behind the time of her teammate Magnusson.
Turning in Naughton now. 12 seconds outside the lead time, but a miss is going to put her out of contention.
Two misses now, and well, she is out of the picture. And even before the final turns, Ella Halvorsen didn't have the pace on the skis to contend with Anna Magnusson today.
Noah Magnusson has had a great last lap, and Lisa Vitozzi really picked up her ski speed over the course of the second half of the race as well. She's still faster than Magnusson on the course, the fastest course time, but two penalties puts her off the podium.
Here is Lou Jean-Minot as Ella Halvorsen comes across the line in third. A miss for Lou Jean-Minot.
Jean-Minot, I don't think had enough time coming in to handle that, to have a miss and be competitive. She's clean from the prone, but is going to fall well outside the time. I don't think we'll see Jean-Minot anywhere near the podium unless she can magically find a lot more speed. She's not carrying enough into this competition to even lead ahead of Magnusson had she shot clean. So Jean-Minot, almost
a collision
collides.
almost. Had to throw the brakes on there to avoid hitting the deck as she went into the 150-meter penalty loop. Here's Elvira Erberg. 2.6 seconds behind the time of Minkinen, our new leader at shooting one.
We missed Minkinen, and she was on our short list, both of ours, to be a winner today. She's never won.
A miss for Elvira Erberg.
Elvira giving Minkinen just a little more hope. It's pretty shaky shooting. She had to take her time and didn't look terribly settled. It's not the shooting of somebody who really has their confidence, really has the top end of their confidence right now.
Well, two penalty loops on the day for Dorota Vera. Can she keep it to just that? She can. 8 out of 10. She'd have wanted a lot more, the yellow bib.
You know, she'll have two penalty loops. She'll have just about one if you consider how fast she shot.
Well, here is Justine Bressard-Boucher, who comes in with a significant lead over Suvi Minkinen. Can she keep it clean, though, and keep hold of that green light lead?
And Justine Bressard-Boucher generally needs a few second gap because she is slow from the prone position, and she misses the first shot as well, which has her taking more time, and it's time she can't really afford to give away yet. Two misses. Looking for that elusive Justine Bressard-Boucher, who won almost like she wasn't awake during the victory in the Olympic mass start in Beijing. She is not that athlete yet, but she will turn on at some point in the season.
Yep, she did it to take gold in Lenzerheide at the World Championships in the sprint. Was able to turn it on then. Work to do as Lisa Hauser comes towards the line, and it will be enough to take second.
Lots of time between Magnusson and the rest of the field, and you can see the first person to plug up some of that time, over half of it, was Hauser. Just 12.9 seconds back now on a clean shooting performance. That's a great ski performance by Hauser, too.
Oceane Michelon, clean in the prone position. 3.7 seconds behind the time of Magnusson.
This could be a win if she can hit these last two shots. She's capable of closing.
Oh, and she can.
Goes
10 out of 10. Perfect from Oceane Michelon. Now she has the work to do on the skis. Will she get there ahead of the time of Anna Magnusson?
Could this be the day that Oceane Michelon is a World Cup winner? She's 23 years of age, young career. Time of Magnusson coming.
And just 1.4 seconds in it. A huge final lap needed from Oceane Michelon if she's to take her maiden World Cup gold.
I think it's doable. Magnusson looked awfully good, though, in that last lap. And looking at the third lap course time, Magnuson dropped 18 seconds to Lompic and lost 6 seconds to Vitozzi. So Magnuson, though she looked good in that last lap, may have trouble holding on Ocean Michelin.
One miss once around the penalty loop for Johansson of Norway. As Julia Tannheimer down this final descent into the stadium. 9 out of 10 on the day for the young German.
And I actually thought that she might be closer with a 9 for 10. Ski form is pretty much always there. Tannheimer is a very talented skier. It's the shooting she has to get seasoned at. Going to be off the podium, but a good solid performance and a step in the right direction after a very difficult individual.
The blue bib, Marilyn Chikayda, has one miss in the prone position. But it is just that one miss, 9 out of 10. Good cadence through that final shooting stage. Where will it find her?
She's not really expressing the fitness she had. She missed a lot of shots in the individual, but skied very well. Now the opposite happened. Skiing's not quite there today for the Norwegian Chikayda, but the shooting's a little bit better. It's just the way it goes in a season. Some days you have it, and some days you don't. One thing will go well, one thing won't, and Chikayda is still pretty young. A lot of experience still to build.
Inka Hämäläinen.
Look at this.
Well, this is a very good performance. Something in the water in Finland because they are on fire. Perfect shooting. And just 40 seconds behind the time of Anna Magnusson, leaving her in 7th for now, so just outside the flower ceremony. But Chad, that is an excellent performance, and these good performances just keep coming for the Finns as Selina Glottian drops another, this time in the standing position.
You can see at 23 seconds back, Glottian would be in it among the leaders if she was clean on the day. But Inka Hämäläinen, just another one of the Finns showing a huge step forward. Her best finish prior to today in World Cup competition is 30th. And she finds herself in the finish area in the top 10 and 7th.
Yeah, well, just that's at 30th place. Did come, well, it equaled her best from Oberhof last year in the sprint, but she equaled that in the individual earlier on in this week. So she comes into this in very good form, as do a lot of the Finnish women, it's fair to say. And we're still waiting to get a glimpse at Suvi Minkkinen, who I believe we are just seeing come into. You can see her pull up on one of the far mats coming into shooting 2 in the lead.
Top of the frame, we're going to see Jean Monod finish, though. I hope they pull a breakout shot of Minkkinen, the leader, into the shooting range. There she is, as on cue. Minkkinen for the win. Leads by 10 seconds coming in. She's 9 for 10. 10 for 10!
10 out of 10, Suvi Minkkinen, that is spectacular. Lou Jean Monod coming to the line, and we will take our attention very quickly from the Frenchwoman who crosses in 7th. Out to Suvi Minkkinen, who has quietly gone about her business today and done it incredibly well. Perfect through the range. Now, just what will her advantage be? I think it will be around the 14-second mark, 14.2, the advantage over Anna Magnusson. And will this be a victory for Suvi Minkkinen?
She's skiing even better than she was last year. Technically, she's precise. She's got nice power coming from her legs. She doesn't look tired at all. Minkkinen has made hay from her breakout season last year to now be in the lead by a commanding 14.2 seconds, clean on the day. That looks like a possible victory to me. I don't know who's going to challenge her from behind her in the start order at this point. Maybe Elvira Uberg, but both she and Bryce Labouche have misses. So I think Minkkinen may be looking at her first career victory today.
Well, this is her event, isn't it? 3 podiums, and they've all come in the sprint, including that bronze medal at Lenzerheide. Dorothea Vera, the yellow bib, comes towards the line. 2 misses, couldn't replicate that excellent performance in the individual, but Dorothea Vera, Chad, well and truly back, you have to say.
Absolutely, the skiing is there. The shooting today was quick, but it wasn't very composed. I think Dorothea Vera took a few chances and didn't look like her at her best. When she hits her best, she's among the leaders in today's competition.
Well, the time of Suvi Minkkinen has come and gone for Elvira Uberg. Sarah Anderson starts with a miss. And a good recovery from Elvira Öberg, 9 out of 10.
It's great, but Minkinen is out skiing both the Öberg sisters at this point. She's 19. She's 10 seconds faster than Minkinen in the second lap, or Minkinen was 10 seconds faster than Öberg in the second lap. In fact, Elvira Öberg looking a little bit flat today on the skis, to be quite honest, and the time's kind of backing that up. She's too far out with just one miss. We've seen her win with 1 or 2 misses, and she's well off the time with the 1 miss today.
So where will Oceane Michelon fall? Into the home straight she comes. She won't get there. The time of Arne Magnusson will pass.
In fact, she's lost time at every time check in the soft loop.
Just didn't have it, and you can see the way her shoulders drop there as she looks to see her name below that of Arne Magnusson. Second for now with Suvi Minkinen on the charge. It may still be enough for a medal today from Oceane Michelon.
The French like to say when you're in top fitness, you have to have le pêche, the peach. And she doesn't quite have le pêche yet, but she's close. Michelon almost getting the win, 4.2 seconds in second place. Anna Ondexer now with a charge from late in the field. Bib 84, not going to probably challenge for the lead, but 14 seconds to get these down if she cleans them, but maybe in the top 10 for the Austrians. The Austrians having a good day today.
Yeah, and there's the miss, which we'll see her once around the penalty loop, now twice, so an extra 300 meters added to her race. As we're back with Suvi Minkinen, 20.1 seconds, her lead now over Arne Magnusson. Chad, it's growing and it's growing.
Yeah, she was 14 ahead at the end of the shooting stage, has grown that by 6 seconds to 20.1. This is all in favor of the Finn. And remember, there's a pursuit competition coming up on Sunday, and every second she can get on Magnusson grows her chances at winning the pursuit as well. She's about a penalty loop ahead of her already at 20.1 seconds back. I'd say the penalty loop today is probably 23, maybe 24 seconds.
Malin Chirkiaida, the blue bib, 9 out of 10 in the range today. And won't find herself on the podium, 5th as she comes across the line, 32.9 seconds behind the time of Arne Magnusson.
Magnusson dodging all shots that are from all the competitors except Minkinen. Michelon, on paper, probably should have taken the top spot coming across the line. If you look at last season's ski performances in total, I think Michelon would have been the favorite to win that battle in the last loop, but drops 4.2 seconds, and there is
Erik Tornes Kolstad, who is the brains behind the project, and it will be a project that will deliver 2 medals through the first couple of individual races for the women. A silver for Sonja Lennemo on the classic, the individual, to start the week, and it will be gold for Suvi Minkinen.
Got Margie Freed from the United States starting bib 92, a lap down to Minkinen. You just want to make sure that she stays clear and doesn't trip up Minkinen in this all-important final few meters where she could win her first World Cup. Freed giving her a few inches there, which is probably wise, and Minkinen gets her on that tricky final 180 degree turn into the finish.
So the advantage cuts to 16.5 seconds now, but it is incredibly healthy. And when you look at just how few have been able to challenge Arne Magnusson, this is a time that will not be beaten today. Suvi Minkinen, well, she's had to be patient, Chad. That was the narrative from last year. Turned 30 on home snow in Kontiolahti, and that was where she took her first ever podium on a World Cup in the sprint at the start of last season. The sprint rolls around again in the 25-26 season, and this time it will be gold for Suvi Minkinen. There is no doubt about that. An absolute sublime performance, perfect in the range and exceptional on the skis as she almost loses her footing. That's how much she's put into this. 16 seconds, the lead of Suvi Minkinen, who will take gold here in Östersund.
The effort was full. The performance was nearly flawless. She grew her lead by not much. She grew it up to 20 seconds, but then started to give some of it back, but still ended up with an aggregate lead that she greater than she left the last shooting stage. Here's Anna Weidel now, late for the German team. Not going to be among the leaders and drops a shot there, but Weidel maybe a top 20 finish here. And here's Margie Freed now, coming in to shoot from the prone position. 92nd starter on this field of 106. One of 3 Americans, Lucy Anderson, Margie Freed, and Chloe Levins on the start for the American team. And Drew Irwin not on the start order, didn't quite catch why that was, but Margie Freed, with this, to put this down, can find herself among the leaders. Maybe just outside the time of the leading leader after one shooting stage, which was actually Minkin in the leader at the clubhouse. And how far back will she be? This is a solid start for Margie Freed if she can keep it clean on the shooting range. Comes in the top 20 at the first time check. That's great performance for Margie Freed.
Well, she'll have one more visit to the range. Here's Elvira Erberg. Couldn't find that zip on the skis that we so often see from her, and one penalty loop was far too costly today. Over the line in 5th, 44.5 seconds behind the time of Suvi Minkinen. Well, Chad, we've spoken about the effort put in by Minkinen herself. Of course, it takes a village, and the skis this week have been exceptional. They've been so quick from the Finns.
Absolutely, they're doing a great job, and when everybody's doing well, you can tell the skis are probably good. Another thing to point out here, Sarah Anderson comes to the finish line. She's shooting for a top 10 finish here for Sweden. But the late starting Americans, Freed and Anderson, Lucy Anderson starting bib 98, is in 2nd place at the 1.3 kilometer mark. 4 seconds back of Lompic, faster than the rest of the field. She's known to start fast and has only been biathlon for less than a year and a half, not even 2 full years. But Anderson at 2.1K for the United States in the top 3 early going before any shooting has happened. Anderson across the line, 1 or 2 back. It's a solid performance for her.
Ockensala, well, Chad, we had her pinned down as someone who could throw down a late charge, but 2 misses. We'll see her topple down the order as you see the names go past, and she still has twice around the penalty loop to go.
Still a solid performance. Look at the, I love the reaction of Minkinen. She is, she's a very down-to-earth person, and she's been humbled by the sport, as all of us who have done it are at some point. You can't be cocky and be good at this sport. You have to be relatively humble, but she has earned her her results in years. She's been doing it for over a decade, and look at the reaction from the coach.
Well, all of those performances have come, the top 6 performances that she has have all come in the course of the last year, and that was the one of the 2 that were missing. Her best finishes, 3 silver medals last year on the World Cup, and of course one of those coming in the World Championships in the sprint in Lenzerheide. She was waiting on that silver, and indeed leapfrogging that point and up to goal today. Lucy Anderson with 1 miss, coming in
huge
quick
opportunity
on the skis.
Yeah, coming in the fastest of the field, 4.4 seconds off the lead, hits 4 for 5. Now this is a good start for Lucy Anderson. She is a fast starter. She raced both cross country and biathlon World Cups last year. She was so fast for the United States that she went to the Larousse World Cup in FIS cross country skiing, finished 22nd in her first 10-kilometer freestyle. So this is no joke. The issue with Lucy Anderson is she spent very few hours on the shooting range, and to come out 4 for 5 and leave the shooting range somewhere near the top 20 would be a great start for her. But she gives away so much time on the shooting range that she was losing over a minute and a half to the bulk of the field in the shooting range last year. She's already cutting that down as we saw her shoot competitively in that prone position. And we'll keep an eye on Lucy Anderson as she leads the penalty loop. Margie Freed also having a great performance, sitting in 18th for the United States after shooting 1. She's out on loop 2.
And eyes on Malit Oyegard of Norway. Clean shooting today. Well, her best finish coming into today was 65th, Chad. And that was in the individual here at the start of the week. Prior to that, it was 84th in the sprint in Hochfilzen. So a huge step up today for her as we watch Chloe Dupont, who drops down into the prone position. The British athlete, this is her first event week on the World Cup, had 3 starts at the World Championships in Lenzerheide, and this her debut week on the World Cup, and not a bad start so far. 4 out of 4. Can she make it clean in the prone? And she does.
Yeah, and coming in 28 seconds back, that is solid for the British biathlete. Setting a very high standard for her countrymen. She's gonna come out of the range in the top 50. That's a solid start for her.
We'll keep our eyes on where she does come out of the range. 53rd, so it is close to that 60th place. Of course, one more shooting stage to go. Eyes on the top 60 to qualify for the pursuit at the weekend. But we look back at Suvi Minkkinen, Chad, where you can tell she gave it absolutely everything. Almost loses her footing, her rhythm there, but by that point, she'd done more than enough.
Absolutely. That is a sign. That is a performance of a veteran athlete who is just finding their top fitness late in their career. And you deserve every bit of that enjoyment you're having here, because you've worked hard to turn this Finnish women's biathlon team into something that is truly world class. The Finnish biathlon women's team has struggled in recent years. They had Kaisa Mäkäräinen, who was one of the best ever to do the sport in any country, and she retired, I believe it was 6 or 7 years ago now. She commentates for Finnish television and does work with the IBU. But Kaisa Mäkäräinen, the towering figure of women's biathlon in Finnish history, the only person to reach the highest level, and Minkkinen now has at least matched her with a victory in the World Cup for the Finnish women. That's huge.
Well, the last Finnish win was indeed Mäkäräinen, as you mentioned, Chad, Oberhof on the 12th of January 2020. And of course, Suvi Minkkinen backing up that gold medal in the single mixed relay. That was in Oberhof with Tero Seppälä last season. So another gold medal, and this time one that's, one that she's been waiting for, one she's been working for, an individual, a solo gold medal coming in the sprint races where, well, she is just so formidable. And Chad, when you see a biathlete who has such passion for event and a discipline like Suvi Minkkinen can perform in the sprints, it really is a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, I think that the thing that's most impressive to me is how she took control of the race. So comfortably. She went out and just realized that she is now among the world's elite, and you know, it's not a surprise. I mean, the first win is always a bit of a surprise, but I don't think either of us are surprised that after what we saw last year, that she'd come in and win the first sprint of the season, and she did it in fine form.
Huge new personal best for Marit Ellard, as you say, Chad. We go back to Margie Fried, who's clean so far.
Can she find a little bit of magic? That's what Margie Fried's going to need here. She's been in the sport for, I think, 3 seasons now, if I'm not mistaken. But a 58% standing shooting average this last season. She's about even with that if she hits this next one at 60. You can see she still needs to take a little more time than most of the athletes to maintain composure. And she gets 9 for 10, giving away a lot of time on the range, but this is going to be maybe a new high water mark for her. She's been 32nd as her best finish, and Margie Fried, skiing well, can maybe get herself into the points again for the second time in her career.
The top 40, of course, taking points, and we'll keep our eyes on where Margie Fried comes out.
Would have been the top, right around top 20 had she hit that final shot, but this is a progress. This is a work in progress. The U.S. women's team getting some big boosts from cross-country skiers who have crossed over in recent years. Fried being one of them, as a NCAA standout at the University of Vermont, and then took up biathlon. And I should point out, pretty late in their career, starting biathlon at 22, 23 years of age is not the age that most of these athletes have started their careers in biathlon.
So if this final lap matches that of those around her, or even betters it will be points for just the second time in her biathlon career on the World Cup.
Sitting in 38th right now is Fried. She's going to have to find a little bit of giddy up and go to hang in the top 40. As Hanna Alcantara comes to the finish now.
Yeah, and she needs to find something to stay in the top 60. It should be enough, and it will be 54 for Hanna Alcantara.
Lucy Anderson for the United States in bib 96 or 98 out of 106. She's still holding tough. Anderson skied the first lap 6.4 seconds shy of Lampic, and a second and a half faster than Hanna Öberg. So Anderson, let's see if she can maintain that pace over the course of this 7.5 kilometer lap. Minkinen, such a professional performance here today. And there's a guy having fun. He's having a good day at work.
Well, he's had plenty of good days at work, Erik Tornez-Kolstad, over the course of the last year since we opened up the 24-25 season in Kontiolahti, and all our attention was drawn to Suvi Minkinen. It was her birthday week. It was on home snow, and well, Chad, you'd probably be forgiven for thinking, oh, it was just a sign of a good week. But those two and the team have continued to prove that it was more than just a good week. It's very much a good last 12 months for Finnish biathlon. Absolutely
proved it here today. You see Lucy Anderson now has really put it out there. She's still 16th fastest course time in lap number 2, but you can see the cost of that lap time as she rapidly misses her first 2 shots. And this is where the gap to the top of the world needs to be built in an athlete like Lucy Anderson. She's just 24 years of age, but she misses 4 of the 5 shots, and that will put a nail in the coffin of her chance at a top 25, top 30 finish. But still a good effort, but you can see that this sport is not picked up very easily, and Lucy Anderson still just in her 2nd year of the sport, giving it a good shot here. As we go back to Margie Fried, 9 out of 10, great day in the range for the American. And what Lucy Anderson has to realize that Margie Fried has 3 years head start on her to get to this point, and Fried just starting to reach the range times that are adequate to be competitive in this World Cup field. And most Americans starting the sport much later than their counterparts in Europe.
At the moment you are placed 32. Come on,
she's in 32nd spot, which is I believe her tied with her best career finish.
Over the top, come on!
Yeah, she was 32nd in the Soldier Hollow sprint in the 2023-24 season, and her second best is 51st, so solid performance for her. Here's Canada's bib number 102, Shiloh Rousseau, into the final shooting, trailing by 59.1 seconds at the 4.6 kilometer mark, and 105 as she comes in for her final shooting stage. Rousseau, the 102nd of 106 starters. There's scratched by Darcy Morton from Australia. Bib 103 is not on course. So just 3 more competitors on the course after the second shooting. Oh, 9 out of 10. Perfect in the stand position, and that was a very composed shoot, Chad. Very composed. Shiloh Rousseau is a very solid shooter. She's world-class speed on the range and accuracy. And she'll be happy with that performance today. Going to come through the time check in the final shooting stage into 25th. 109 back. This is potentially a high water mark for Rousseau if she can keep the speed going for 2.5 more kilometers. By quite some margin. She started the season incredibly well. Her best going into this week was 70th, the sprint in Kontiolahti. 56th was where she finished in the individual. And now looking for a top 30 finish in points for the very first time, as Margie Fried battling to try and replicate and better her high water mark. That's 32. She currently sits in 33, 96 seconds behind the pace of the leader. I had that wrong. She's actually in 49th place, is looking at the wrong split time. So Shiloh Rousseau just trying to get in the top 50 there. Sorry to lead you down an inaccurate rabbit hole, but 9 for 10. Margie Fried at 7.1 kilometers, sitting in 33rd, still within the points, and she's coming towards the finish line now. Margie Fried might not be a career best, but in this field compared to the Soldier Hollow field, first of all, far fewer athletes in that North American World Cup. So these early season races are arguably the toughest to do well in, because everybody's trying to make their Olympic teams coming in near peak performance. So a truly a performance that is worthy of the World Cup for sure. Margie Freed coming across the line in the 34th spot ahead of Lompic.
No, I think you are right, Chad. Going out to shooting 2, Charlotte Rousseau in 25th, so we'll keep our eyes on where she comes through the next time check, and that will be the 6.3 kilometre mark, so a little wait before we see her hit that point. But she is the fastest of the athletes who we're watching at this point with, well, let's see, we had a 106th on the start list, and we've had 90 through the finish line as we look at the intermediate results, of course, with those final 10 or so athletes yet to finish, with plenty of DNSs as well today, which did include Franziska Preuss, as Suvi Minkinen finishing top spot, and Lotte Lee rounding out the top 10 in what has been we speak about the Finns, of course, Chad, but when we speak about some of the smaller nations, Belgium have had a very good start to competition this week.
Absolutely. Lotte Lee with a great one today, and Maya Klotens. It's kind of we're seeing a little bit more of a spread of the top places where you're seeing smaller nations have their best athletes, or best 2 athletes up really in the thick of the charge for at least the top 10. Belgium doing that this week. Finland really taking it to a new level. It's great to see. And Canada, you're right, Charlotte Rousseau. I wasn't wrong. I didn't read that wrong. She is in the top 25. So that's a huge performance for her. She is a personal best far lower than Margie Freed, and she's got freed by about 10 seconds at the last time check. So 2 North Americans trying to do at least their best race this season by quite a bit. And in Rousseau's case, a best PB by quite a bit. The computer on the commentator information system really projecting Rousseau currently at 7.1K. They're anticipating her to come in 28th spot, Freed holding down 34th at the finish, with Rousseau possibly going to push her down to 35th. And great opportunities for both those athletes to start well within the pursuit field on Sunday, like right in the middle of the pack. It's good. That is the best way to get better at biathlon, is to actually engage the world's best in head-to-head competition in a mass start. And until you do that, it's really hard to get a sense of what this sport really is all about and get to that highest level. Well, we've seen a lot of Erik Tornius-Schulstad in the B-roll shots from the range, and with good reason. He has done a lot with his Finnish biathlon team and taken it. Norwegian coach by nature, makes his home in Finland part of the year to lead this team to where they've come, and he has got to feel great right now.
What do you want to see from Suvi Minkinen at the weekend, Chad? Finished 3rd in the sprint in Oslo, and then 8th in the pursuit a couple of days later. How do you want to see her race her game when it comes to the 4 shooting stage races?
The real maturing process for me would be is if Minkinen just doesn't consider letting anybody else into the race tomorrow. She's 16 seconds ahead of Magnussen. Magnussen is a great 4 shooting stage athlete, but Magnussen has not won a pursuit either. Magnussen's best performance all of her best 3 races prior to today have been all in the sprint competition as well. So her closest competitor has the same issue, trying to get through a 4-stage win in first place. Minkinen, beyond the closest chaser in Magnussen, chasing from 3rd spot is Michelin. Michelin has not won a pursuit either. She's got a long way to anybody who has won a pursuit. It is 29 seconds to Hauser. And Elvira Uberg back at 44 seconds back. Uberg, she has to shoot 2 better than Uberg to hang on, and she outskied Elvira Uberg today. So Minkinen is in a really good place that if she can go even 19 for 20, she could still find herself in the podium and possibly win with a 20-second advantage at the start over the Swede, or 44-second advantage over Elvira Uberg.
The best result in the pursuit, 6th flower ceremony finish in the World Championships in Lenzerheide, and well, it is great to go through Suvi Minkinen's results because it really does paint a brilliant picture of resilience over the years as Charlotte Rousseau comes towards the line, 9 out of 10 on the day, and finish inside or just outside the top 30, 31st, ahead of Vanessa Voigt, and a very good day all round for the Canadian, Chad.
Great day, and she's gonna remember this for the rest of her life, is the day that she kind of stepped into the world-class arena. Charlotte Rousseau has been at it for quite a few years. Here now is Chloe DuPont of the Great Britain team. She's doing
started incredibly well in the first visit to the range, challenged in the second visit. This, of course, will take confidence from one clean shooting stage on the World Cup as we see her come towards the line. This still early days in her career, across the line in 97th. Plenty to build on.
You need to clean that first stage first before you clean the second, but Chloe DuPont shouldn't hang her head. She was skiing very well. Probably got a little too excited in that second lap, maybe pushed a little too hard. Similar to Lucy Anderson. Lucy Anderson missed 5 on the day, 4 from the standing, 1 from the prone. But Anderson should take some comfort that she was 17th in the ski time, skiing the front third of the pack, even with Marketa Davidova. If she just gives herself some time, she is going to be surprised. We will be calling Lucy Anderson's name in biathlon in a couple years' time near the front of the field. I have no doubt about it. Charlotte Rousseau, a big step forward as well for North American teams. This is Milana Geneva of Kazakhstan coming to the finish. Just about wrapping up the day's competition. Geneva from the 95th spot. Just to recap where the English speakers are, we'll have the native English speakers. Charlotte Rousseau, the top Canadian and North American, in 31st spot with a 9 for 10 shooting performance today. In 35th, Margie Fried of the United States with a 9 for 10 shooting. And Chloe Levens hits 9 for 10 and finishes 60th and gets in at this point. Levens makes it into the pursuit for Sunday. Shauna Pendry from Great Britain, 67, nice performance by her. Being on the shooting range, great job. And then Benita Pfeiffer from Canada in 73rd with 8 for 10. Nadia Moser from Canada at 79th place with 8 for 10 shooting. And Pascal Paradis in 80th, hitting 7 for 10. And Lucy Anderson, 83rd place with a 50% shooting performance. And as we highlighted, Chloe DuPont from Great Britain comes in 98th place.
Well, worth giving a mention, as you did there, to Shauna Pendry. Chad, 10 out of 10 in the range for the Briton. A new personal best. Her previous best was 72nd at the World Championships in the individual. And, well, not too far away in the grand scheme of things from qualifying for a pursuit. Certainly an upward trajectory from the France-based British national.
And she's just 23 years of age. Pendry's got every bit of opportunity to move up the course of the field over the next few years. And she's certainly young enough and new enough to the sport that to finish where she is today. The raw material is there to go to the level. The hardest part is finding the support and the time and the determination to stick with it long enough to be good at the World Cup level. It takes years.
Marlisa Emons of Belgium, 9 out of 10. Good day in the range for the Belgian.
Final competitor on the course.
Yep, with 5 DNSs today, our final competitor. Once again with Estonia. We'll finish inside the top 199th today for the Estonian, 9 out of 10 in the range. So confirmation of the results, a perfect day for Suvi Minkinen. A first World Cup gold, and it had been coming. This her favourite event. She'll look to replicate that in the pursuit at the weekend. Anna Magnusson taking second, and it took a lot for her to be pushed out of that top spot. Ocean Michelon takes bronze and continues her good form from last season.
Really consistent performance by Suvi Minkinen for the win. She had the third fastest total course time, 36 seconds off the time of Anna-Maria Lampic and 4 seconds slower than Justine Bressard-Boucher, but the clean shooting and her total shooting time in the top 10 as well. She lost only 4 seconds to the fastest shooter on the day, Merkushina of Ukraine. She, amongst the leaders at the top of the leaderboard, Minkinen was the fastest on the range. A total time on the range between the two shooting stages of 52 seconds. That is lightning fast. And that earns her the win by a total of 16.6 seconds over Anna Magnusson. And that's how she did it, with a third fastest ski time and a very quick time on the range. As you figure 52, divide that by 2. You're looking at 26 seconds average shooting time, probably closer to 20 for the standing and closer to 30 for the prone. Anytime you're under 55, 60 seconds in the shooting range for a sprint, that is some world-class fast shooting, and Minkinen delivers with a great biathlon performance today on a day that she's probably I'd have to go back and look, but I think this is probably the highest she's ever finished on the ski times in a biathlon World Cup, in third spot.
And so into the yellow bib goes Suvi Minkinen. 116 points, just 2 points ahead of Dorothea Vera, who will see the yellow bib lifted off her shoulders for the pursuit. Coming up this weekend, Anna Magnusson in third. Malin Chekaida keeps hold of the under-23 blue bib.
Malin Chekaida, top 10. Anytime the blue bib is in the top 10 is a good sign for the future of the sport. Malin Chekaida is doing very well, but Inka Hämäläinen in second place for the blue bib. That was not expected. That is not an expected top 20 right there for the Finns, but it just shows you the momentum they're carrying. And Julia Tannheimer from Germany sitting third in the U23 standings. And this is going to be a good fight for that blue bib this year on the women's side.
Suvi. It's been a journey, and now you have won your first World Cup individually in this sprint with a crazy performance. What's the feeling like?
Oh, I'm really happy, and first thought when I crossed the finish line was just like, I'm so proud of how I did it today, because the individual was a little bit tough with knowing that I'm stronger with the skiing, and I'm also expecting more from myself, so it was a little bit hard to kind of get the focus right on like performing and not only thinking about the results. And today I was able to come back to thinking about how I do the race, and I'm just so proud.
What does it mean to get this victory, and you know you will be in yellow on the pursuit?
I just heard this. I think it's crazy, like it's my 9th season here, and going out first in the pursuit, that's something new, but if I have the yellow, that's crazy. Let's see how I can handle it.
Well, enjoy the moment for now.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Well, Suvi Minkinen will wear that yellow bib, and what a great performance as you see the gap there in points for the sprint score. She takes the red and the red bib for that for the next time they race in Hochfilzen in the sprint competition. But what a day for Suvi Minkinen, and an honor to wear that yellow bib. She outdistances Dorothy Weir by just 2 points for that overall World Cup gold bib.
Well, interesting hearing her speak there, Chad, because she said that she knows going into the individual that her obviously ski speed was a lot better. The pressure was there, having had such a spectacular season last season, and this really the best way to settle the nerves.
Absolutely, and just kind of normalize the fact that she's one of the best in the world. Now, she's not only one of the best in the world, she's currently the best in the world. She's #1 ranked biathlete in the world, and she gets to start for everybody to see on Sunday in that yellow bib, heading out first on this Ostersund course. And the performance today, we broke it down earlier. It was a perfect biathlon sprint for her.
So the flower ceremony assembled, and of course the crowd, mostly covered in yellow and blue, will wait on to cheer the name of Arne Magnusson. It will be Suvi Minkinen, stood atop the podium for the very first time in the World Cup, and what a way to do it.
The Finns and the Swedes having a long history of ice hockey battles that go way back in 30, 40 years, but it's usually been Sweden getting the better of the Finns in biathlon as of late. But today it's a Finn on top of the podium ahead of a Swede in Sweden, and I think the biathlon folks are going to spot the Finns a gracious one on this one, because Suvi Minkinen has just worked so long and hard to get to this point, and great to see her get her first win.
In the flower ceremony, Lisa Hauser just off the podium today, 9 seconds between her and Ocean Michelon. But Chad, as she always is, she's still there and thereabouts.
Absolutely, and Elvira Uber just knows how to get there. She finds herself at the top of the order, or near the top of the order, almost every time she steps on the course, because She's just so strong. Like even today, not a great ski performance by her, but it's good enough that with a penalty, she's still in 5th spot. And the gap between her best and worst races are really not that big. And certainly against the field, her poorer races are one of the best, some of the best poor races of anybody in the field on skis.
Yes, for the very first time, Suvi Minkinen leads the flower ceremony towards the podium. An incredible trajectory that she's been on over the course of the last couple of years, and well, just 3 days until her birthday. She kicks off a new biathlon season in exceptional form.
Joanna Jääskeläinen getting to the flower ceremony for the first time in her career. This is huge for her.
First time in the top 10 for Jääskeläinen of Poland.
Good to see Magdalena Forsberg, one of the best biathletes, if not the best biathlete in history, the Swede. 7 times World Cup overall champion, should have given the awards today. And a place she knows very well, Ostersund.
Well, back on the podium, Oceane Michelon picking up where she leapt off last season. A 3rd podium at World Cup or World Championships event, and of course has that silver medal from last year in Lenzerheide that she'll be desperate to try and replicate on the World Cup and of course at the Olympic Games this winter.
Oceane Michelon is the beginning of her long reign, I think, at the top of the sport. She's still got room to get better, and already so good. 3rd place today, well deserved.
Perfect shooting from the top 4. Ellard, the only in the top 6 who had a penalty loop. And Anna Magnusson, perfect in the range and, well, very, very good on the skis. Flew around the final lap, and for so long, Chad, it looked like she may have taken the gold.
Just a near miss. She ran up against a slightly better Finn today in Suvi Minkinen, but Anna Magnusson getting nice congratulations from Magdalena Forsberg, the prize giver. She's the most winning biathlete of all time. Forsberg, 42 victories in her career, and nice to get that from Anna Magnusson. I'm sure that's a thrill for her to get her medal from the best of all time, the Swede.
And for the very first time, Suvi Minkinen stands on top spot, and you can see just how much it means to her, and a result that will be celebrated across the nation of Finland. They have been exceptional this opening week. Great in the range, superb on the skis, and the work behind the scenes, well, plenty of it has gone in over the course of the last 2 seasons, and it's paying off in abundance. 2 medals from 2 women's solo events to start the season, and Suvi Minkinen delivers the first gold since 2020.
And the first Finn to win since Kaisa Mäkäräinen hang her skis up. Mäkäräinen with 27 victories of her career, 2-time overall World Cup winner. Suvi Minkinen is the next great Finn in biathlon. She proved it today with her first win of her career.
Lisa Hauser, always there and thereabouts, and this is a good start to the season for her. It's been a long time since she stood atop the podium, the 23-24 season, but she'll hope that she's creeping ever closer to a return to the podium. Ellard taking 5th today, once around the penalty loop, and the only in the top 6 to suffer that fate. And a new high water mark and a new personal best for Joanna Jääskeläinen of Poland. 6th, her first time in the top 10. And, well, a big day of celebration, of course, for Poland. A huge result, Chad, for a nation who we don't always see represented in these flower ceremonies.
No, it's huge. They've had great, of course, the best cross-country skier in the world at one time, and they've had a world champion in Thomas Sikora on the men's side. But a great performance for 6th place for the Poles today. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm just checking here, but I think the Minkinen's win today makes her the 5th Finn to win a Biathlon World Cup, following Katja Hollanti, Mari Eder, Kaisa Varis, and of course Kaisa Mäkäräinen. But and I think she's probably only the second Finn to ever wear that. I'm almost 100% certain that she's the second Finn to ever wear the yellow bib behind Mäkäräinen. So a huge day for the Finns, for the Finnish skier Suvi Minkinen with the yellow bib and the win today.
Yep, and she will put it on properly this weekend on Sunday, where they take on the 10-kilometre pursuit. Of course, we'll find out who is in the men's side of the pursuit with the sprint and the qualifying, of course, tomorrow. That is from 4:30 Central European time. And, well, after a brilliant day of action here in Ostersund, we start to draw to the close of the events. 3 more races to come, 2 more days of action. And we hope that you'll be able to join us once again here on Eurovision Sport from 4:30 tomorrow, Central European time, for the men's 10-kilometre sprint.
I think that was our best race, best one yet. I think we got the best. Think so? Well, I think I got better. I think I probably gave better facts as an analyst. Like I analyzed the race better than I have. And I think that's what I got. That's what I got to get in the groove of. These individual start races are really hard to get the analysis. Yeah, to get the analysis in there. And I had a little more time with the. Yeah, the rhythm was better because the favorites who were hitting on the podium were further spread out, so I could actually get the notes right and deliver accurate info. So that, for me, it was my best day for sure. Yeah, I don't care about your best day. No. All right. I'll see you going on. Okay. So we have Hochfilzen. I've got Hochfilzen all with Scott, right? I think that's right. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna miss you. All right. Well, have fun soccer. All right. Have fun soccering. All right. See ya.